Ladies and gentlemen, obviously this week we have had 4 days of amazing action from the Cheltenham Festival. However, I'm hoping that for those of us or those punters, who may have not had the best 4 days and is scrabbling around for a bit of money in their back pocket and are looking to find perhaps a few horses that'll dig them out of a potential grave. Personally, for those that have known me and followed me for a while, know that I absolutely adore the all-weather. Not necessarily the big sort of all-weather championship races, more so the Friday night sort of stuff from the likes of Dundalk, Wolverhampton, etc. And there's 4 horses that I like running this Friday the 13th, the unluckiest day of the year apparently. All at Dundalk that I think could go well and are all currently double figure prices. The first falls in the first race and it's a horse by the name of Dan's Gift. If I bring up the form here, so I've got that in front of me. Dan's Gift is a horse that's done far better in much better races and much better opposition, against much better opposition than this. Looking through the field itself, and as this horse is, I guess, racing has deteriorated in terms of the performances it's put in, so has his mark. The horse now sits on a really attractive mark. It's a course and distance victor. The draw shouldn't put you off at all. And also, if you look at the race last time out, I think it finished, let me just have a look here, either 5th or 6th if my memory serves me. It finished... It finished 5th last time out, and it was actually relatively unlucky. He found a few traffic problems, eventually got out, eventually found a gap, and eventually powered home, but it was too little too late. Still managed to pick up 5th place. I think coming out of stall 11, albeit it's the widest draw, I think it should potentially aid its chances of avoiding any sort of traffic problems. The horse has obviously been dropped a few pounds since its last race, and I think, despite being 9 years old, Ronan Whelan can guide this one round to victory, or at least a decent place, and at around 10 to 1, I think that's a cracking price. Moving on, the second of what is 4 selections, I'd actually advise putting these in some sort of multi each way, lucky 15. The 545, another fellow course and distance winner, this time in bottom weight Spanish Dawn. Interesting to see that Wayne Lorden is booked for the ride, obviously one of the best jockeys in Ireland. Again, a course and distance winner. Ignore its last run. It just wasn't a going day. Although, to be fair, 8th of 14 isn't exactly a drastic performance, somewhere in mid-division, obviously. I think it dropped back down to 1 mile 2, where it's shown his best performance, and it's only ever won at 1 mile 2 around this course. With Wayne Lorden on board is going to be a big positive. The last time the horse won over course and distance was a while ago now. However, that was off a mark of 46. The horse eventually gets back to its last winning mark. Wayne Lorden on board, a massive positive, and I think 14 to 1, especially coming out of stall 2, is an absolute steal. It's actually my bet of the day, even though obviously you've got the top class action at Cheltenham. My nap of the day is Spanish Dawn as a really decent each way play at 14 to 1. Later on in the card, you've got to wait until the 7:45, I think, if I double check. It is indeed the 7:45. Now, the horse that I like in this is actually the first reserve. Its reserve is horse number 15, Amazing One. Again, course and distance winner. Put in reasonable efforts back in January. Ignore his last run. What interests me is that the jockey that's done to ride this horse is Wayne Lorden. Wayne Lorden doesn't have a ride in this race so far. If one of the other protagonists, anything numbered 1 to 14, gets pulled out, that horse gets in, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Wayne Lorden climb on board. And it certainly will not be 25 to 1 if that horse gets a run. 25 to 1 again is an absolute liberty. It'll end up with a decent enough draw if the horse gets in. The trainer knows what he's doing around Dundalk. The horse is another course and distance winner. He's only 6 years old as well, so it's not as if he's got an abundance of miles on the clock. So yeah, 25 to 1. Get on now. Obviously, you get your money back if it doesn't run. But if it does, it will not be 25 to 1 come the off time. And last but not least, in the next, and it's the penultimate race on the card, the 8:15, it's yet another course and distance winner that I like the look of. Although in fairness, in this race, the majority of them are course and distance winners. And it's Atlas. Atlas is a horse that I think just basically 28 to 1 about a course and distance winner is ridiculously overpriced. Its last run was pretty decent, to be fair, finishing 6th of 12. I wouldn't say it was eye-catching, but it certainly wasn't a race you could dismiss in terms of a performance by Atlas. And that was also after a 114-day layoff. Obviously, after such a lengthy absence, the horse is going to strip much fitter for this. Obviously, as I mentioned, a 6th of 12 last time out should stand it in good stead. Its one and only win on the all-weather came here over course and distance. That was, if I can remember, double check, that was off a mark of 81. It's now running off a mark of 71, so it's £10 lower. And, a certain Mr. Sheridan takes another £7 off the horse's back, which I think will also be a massive plus. Really decent draw in stall 1. 28 to 1 is huge. That's a massive price. Obviously, in a race, or any of these races at Dundalk, a multitude of them are course and distance winners. But you see it time and time again, horses that haven't shown much form can swing around and come back and claim a victory. That 6th last time out after a lengthy absence will stand him in really good stead. He'll strip fitter, he's got a decent draw, he's weighted to win, and he also has another £7 off his back. Atlas, 28 to 1, get on now. Those are my 4. Each way plays Dundalk tomorrow, Friday the 13th. Hopefully get us a bit of luck. If your festival hasn't gone the way you planned, these 4, you back them each way, should bring us a few pennies. Good luck if you follow. Thanks for any likes and shares and any views, and all the best.